better in His hand. You don't always have the power to control, but you do always have the power to surrender. And I promise you, God can do way more through your surrender than you can ever do through your control. Surrender means not my way, but God's way. I wonder what God would call you to surrender today. I wonder if God's already speaking to you and calling you to surrender something to Him. And it's time to say to God, God, not my way, but your way. I surrender this to you. I'm going to be real and open and honest about this struggle, and I'm going to get through it with you. I'm not going to try to do it on my own anymore. Will you let God be God? But we've got to learn how to lose control. Honestly, I would much rather know that I've got a God who is awesome, to say to God, who's mighty, God, who's powerful, not my way, who's great, but your way, who is indescribable. I surrender this to you, that I have Him being in control. I'm going to be real and open having and honest about this struggle and trying to control it. And I'm going to get through it with you. Because in my hands, I'm not going to try to do it on my own anymore. But in His hands, it's going to be all right. Will you let God be God? Just trust God. But we've got to learn what's going to lose control. Then I can reflect on the fact that I would much rather know if God is God, and it's time then to say to God, mighty, can be God, who's powerful, not my way, and even though but your way, who is indescribable, I surrender this to you, that I have Him in control, real how I want to having and honest about this struggle, and trying to, and I'm going to get through it with you. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to try to do it on my own, to still remain faithful and obedient, because I know I can sit back, trust God. Because if this is where He has me, then there must be something for me. One of the lessons that I learned was how to sit and trust. Because some trust in chariots, some trust in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord, our God. People will let you down. Companies will fail. The government won't keep its promises, but God will never let you down. God will never fail. No matter what you are going through, or what you do go through, place your trust in Jesus. When you are in the middle of unimaginable circumstances, and it feels like all hope is lost, trust in Him. Cling to His word. Look at His track record. What He has done before, He can do again. He was faithful then, and He is faithful now. The Lord is faithful. He keeps His promises. You can trust Him. We serve a promise-making, promise-keeping God who can do the impossible. You can trust Him. And if I could hope for you to leave here this morning with one thing, it would be this: to start trusting God with things that you've been trusting yourself with. Proverbs 3:5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make your path." Where are you fighting God for control in your life? If you're like me, if you're like most of us, there's an area or two, at least, where we're still fighting with God for control. It may be that God's calling you to let go of something. Maybe it's something bad. Maybe there's a sin in your life that God's calling you to let go. Maybe it's something good that you're holding on to. And He says, I've got something better for you, but you're going to have to trust me. You're going to have to let me rule. And we're fighting Him for. And so, when we have those places in our lives where we're fighting God for control, we have to learn to let go and trust. And this is the paradox of the Christian faith, that freedom comes through surrender, victory comes through submission. It's all backwards. It's different than what the world tells you. D.L. Moody says this: "The world has yet to see what God will do with the